Oh, my mouth hurts. But yeah, after some review, my projects are not going so well, but not in World of Horror. So for timestamp's sake, as we get into Katak All Perks 7th Curse Jury, we have not upgraded our Katana yet. That only happens on the 3rd, 5th, and 7th runs. Onward. So the other thing to say is that I did not actually switch my mysteries yet. I feel like I want to give it one more shot, just to see what happens. So second encounter, second mystery, Toxicon, strength, light, and maybe knowledge. Every single non-stat check, my mouth is in pain because I am in pain. So, oh my goodness. But yeah, let's get into this run. So, Jury All Perks is an interesting run. I've mentioned it before, but since it doesn't happen as often as I think it does, even though I think it happens more than I would assume it doesn't happen, I swear that makes sense. Basically, getting good perks is great for Jury because she levels up fast, and if you don't get any good perks, bad RNG, I guess. Flood, Ramen, Cicadas, Tongue, and Arms. So, Tongue, Arms, and Flood, right? I think that's the first three. Those are the first three mysteries. Painting can happen at some point, probably the 4th, and then Ramen 5th. Yeah, that sounds good. So, we'll take Arms first to get some preparation in. I could take Tongue first, but because I'm not confident in how I'll do with this katana, I don't feel it's the best option we have. Now, with the katana, we can immediately grab cigarettes. I like to do that as Jury. Use the checkbook for cigarettes if possible. Not always, but sometimes it works. And then we'll actually check the face. Oh, never mind. Okay, fast swimmer. So even if we get caught by the horror, fast swimmer. This is actually good RNG, all things considered. So far, even though it's only happened like, what, twice in this series so far? Maybe 3 times. Yeah, getting fast swimmer in the number of runs that I got it on the first history club visit is not normal, basically. So we'll take out of funds here because we actually do want to avoid horror and try to level up. But if nothing bad happens, nothing bad happens. Now, with average RNG, as we'll speak for a moment here, because nothing much to talk about with the Timeworn Katana until we get into an encounter, is that, yeah, I expect average RNG to give me pretty much no good perk. And by that, I really mean core strength, zeal, and or adrenaline. So, because we already took fast swimmer. And yeah, we're gonna do our best. This is the reason why I think if I recall correctly, fast swimmer allows you to usually prep attack with the Timeworn Katana setup. Now we're taking -2 all, but we have to. Otherwise, bad things can happen. Otherwise, I can flip a coin twice and see. We're out in 2 turns anyway, unless I miss both of these attacks. Which, we didn't miss both, but we're just gonna go for more experience here. So, prep attack we go, and we'll just grab as much experience. Again, this is a very specific set of sequences. I could just, if you're asking, Jordan, why didn't you just do prep strong? It's because doing 2 attacks gives you more experience here than doing just a regular strong attack that hits. It has to hit, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Now my question is, do I smoke these cigarettes just in case we're on timeline B? Well, I guess we're going to find out. We can't smoke them once we get into the encounter. The nicotine rush buff does not take effect. I know that for almost a certain fact, just in case I, for some reason, am misremembering. But I feel like I remember that at least the cigarette nicotine rush buff, you don't get it in the encounter if you use cigarettes in an encounter. So I'm shrugging real life as I say there's some funky things. I think you would expect it to happen in the same encounter, but I guess it doesn't. So, which I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Anatomy class, by the way. Even though we might not be fighting many human enemies, I guess we'll see. Because Tongue is technically, I think it's like an eldritch enemy if I recall correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, off we go. Cigarettes again. We'll take out of funds in the face because the cigarettes, I promise you, are much more useful. Now, I won't be using them yet, but they're much more useful. Especially stacked on top of Fast Swimmer. And if nothing else, your takeaway this video is that if you have Fast Swimmer and if you have 2 sources of speed action buffs that are not, scaling usually, save for maybe Blood Mania, then you're usually in a good way for encounters. You are probably like 2-shotting, if not 1-shotting most encounters. And by 1-shotting, let's include doing a brace into a 2-turn kill. So you brace on your first turn, take less damage, and then you attack next turn and defeat the enemy. So that's as good as a 1-shot. Yeah, you still lose HP, but what do you want? So, funny enough, because we're not smoking the cigarettes, we'll take the meat cleaver out. Should probably take the brick out as well. We'll store the bottle of water. I'm probably going to forget about it. Actually, we could store the checkbook instead. Again, we don't want to use Doom. If the horror progress were not an issue, like we got caught by the horror already, I would just use the notebook, I would use the checkbook again, and then buy a second pack of cigarettes. Probably use it twice. Yeah, you have to use it twice, but you get the point. Cigarettes are cool in the game for the buff. So, yeah, Eldritch enemy. Take 4 stamina damage in the face. Also high power level, but if I so choose, because I don't think we leveled up yet. No, we did not. For the purposes of not taking too much damage, I'm actually going to throw a brick and a meat cleaver. I'm going crazy. I miscalculated. It should have just been 2 bricks. Well, either way, that was not great, because losing an extra item that does 3 or 4 damage to throw can mean the difference between losing more HP or having to take a risk to prevent more HP loss, so on and so forth. I did it. Oopsie. So we'll take both cigarettes out because we're about to enter Flood. We will take the stamina healing. I'm just going to heal it now because it's our reason we're going to be primarily concerned about. If we hit 3 stamina, or if we would have hit 3 stamina or below, that would make me very sad. But as we take Daddy's Girl instead, we can now trade off a lot more stamina because I'll get 2 stamina back with Daddy's Girl. In the meanwhile, this masked assailant. Now, if we could level up the katana, that would be great. I think we just get bonus damage is important. Basically, doing 5 damage per attack is very helpful in this encounter because you'll reliably 2-shot it, unless it's like your 4th or 5th mystery. But I would not advise taking Flood as your 4th and 5th mystery on Harbinger of Doom difficulty. On a non-Harbinger of Doom difficulty, by the way, you can do whatever you want. Flood is not nearly as dangerous. However, if you're getting smacked by reason, you will still die. But aside from that, you normally wouldn't have trouble with Flood on a non-Harbinger difficulty. I need to keep adding that detail to the end here. But if nothing else, your second takeaway, because it's been a while since I said it, just get the Theologist and go. You're usually going to end up taking, well, I would say it's half-half. If you don't feel lucky, basically just leave one to get the Theologist. If you are feeling lucky, feel free to grab every single Scientist. It actually does make a difference, but if you end up running into 2 encounters and they're getting slapped for 3 reasons on top of that, yeah, I say it's not as great. So we'll use both cigarettes here. This should carry me to the end of the run. I think Takushi-san was like one of the first few floors of the lighthouse. But I digress. That we're talking about something else. So, prep attack, prep strong, and then gamble an attack. Just for extra experience on the katana. Now, we might not level up twice. Nice. But if we can, it would be nice. If not, we're not going to cry too much about it. We have better things to look forward to. Now, that being said, even though I was trying to be very efficient with attacks, actually, we just do this. And then trade off 2 stamina for 1 reason. Nope, that's 2 reasons for 1 stamina. 2 stamina for 1 reason. Because next turn, we're just going to do a big prep strong and then get out. Just making sure, desperate struggle on top of it, but hey. Now, I would like to give you experience. Again, if I were to release the Timeworn Katana as an item or a backstory or something, in whole, I would probably reward you experience for doing desperate struggle. The reason I would not do the same for like brace, dodge, prep attack, or boost attack is because you can kind of game the system too much with that. Whereas Desperate Struggle, it's usually a 40 time unit action, so you kind of have to commit to doing it and fitting it somewhere in your time action sequence. Now, again, you could say the same for Desperate Struggle, but it's limited to once an encounter anyway, so that's why I feel if I were to give experience for it, it would make more sense than a spammable action like Attack Boost, Prep Attack. Even though Brace and Dodge you can't really spam, you get the point. You can just kind of do them and get experience for pretty much no reason. Anywho, Ghostly Spear. And into the forest we go. Yeah, nothing too interesting is happening. Now, there was a significant change in the... Yeah, getting that bonus damage was very helpful. It allowed me to 2-shot, I think, 2 encounters. And even though that sounds like a small number, I promise it can make the difference. Now, in this encounter, on the other hand, I don't even want to take the reason damage, but I think it's because we're on Kathak, right? Kathak, yeah. We don't have much of a choice. I could level up and heal, but let's fight this first, just so I can get Desperate Struggle used up. So, we take -1 all, but we deal about, 8 damage here, but we take -1 all damage, which is not gonna fly eventually, but we don't have much recourse. In fact, I think we get out next turn because of the power of Desperate Struggle, but still, that's a lot of damage to take. This should be 12. If it's not, I'm gonna cry. Okay, good. Or at least 12. It was more than that, but you get the point. We have a nice amount of experience to level up. Running shoes does nothing on attack. Neither does fast hands as much, because I'm not going to improvise unless we run into one of the two encounters. But I'll just, you know what? Now we'll take fast hands. Why not? Heal reason instead, funny enough, and off we go. These perks are actually quite good. Not really much else to say. Nice 12 roll. I think that was a 12 roll, right? We have every single non-stat check. That I remember for sure. So we're going to take the light source. Unless, like, one of the non-stat checks was a 6th floor, but you get the point. Better to take it and not need it than need it not have it, right? Is it the saying? Is that the saying? Yeah, I bit my tongue. So, yeah. And the light source is good anyway. Now, running into a ghost encounter, on the other hand, not as priceless. But we'll do the best of what we've got. Does this count? Yeah, I think sever damage does count here. So we're going to brace just to see. Yeah, so we do get bonus damage off of the sever action as well. I should probably note that somewhere, but Now, I'm really, because we do have Ghostly Spear. I could have actually just used Ghostly Spear, but and if one of these two events slaps me on reason, I am dead, by the way. And now we forget Ghostly Spear. Should have just used it earlier. Literally off by one reason. So that, yeah, not using Ghostly Spear in that ghost encounter was the difference between keeping Ghostly Spear and losing it, which is actually quite important. Ghostly Spear is one of the best spells. And the only reason why it's not the definite best is because there's a max reason version called Mind Drain. Mind Drain, if my voice can work. First aid, double reason heal. At this point, we're just gonna go for the long-term lighthouse play. Although, no. I was gonna say decrease doom some more, sure. And then I realized, no, my reason. If we somehow die, I'm actually gonna. Oh no, there's no point holding this level up. Def handling does nothing. Fast learn does nothing. Self therapy does nothing. So, unless we grab a spell somewhere, technically the tree gives us 2 reason for a curse now, with indirectly through self therapy. But meh. Does Jerry have 3 luck, by the way? Anywho. Now, if my stats could somewhat matter, it would be nice. As long as I see like a 5 through 7 roll, I feel a lot better. Unfortunately, that's not what happens, so... we should be able to do... So this should be a 2-turn, if I'm calculating right? Yeah. And off we go. In fact, we do this, so we can get a bit more experience. So that's another kind of... another kind of min-max. If you're gonna kill something with an attack... With 2 attacks, if you can fit in a strong with the Timeworn Katana specifically, again, only for the Timeworn Katana mechanics, then, yeah, you will get more experience. It's not by a lot, but if you can do it like 2 or 3 times, you will see a difference. That I did try to balance the experience gain through normal attacks and strong attacks to some extent. Yeah, quick thinking, but nah. So we get black hair, not great, useless at this point, but hey, we're entering the lighthouse with 66% doom and another level up. This is actually quite a lot. A lot of this is due to the fact that we're very combat capable in this run. Again, if we had to get a weapon, we'd be at around 86%-ish doom right now, so... and yes, while I did grab Fast Swimmer from the History Club, if I didn't take Fast Swimmer because I would not have the doom to spare, I would have a weapon instead, and that would make this run a lot harder. So it should be self-explanatory there. What do we fight? No way it was the Sweaty Assailant. I had to fight 2 things beforehand. I'm just gonna say the Centipede. Nope. I really don't care. My doom is low, so that's why. I mean, I did forget, so that I shouldn't do that. But Flood 3rd, Painting 4th, right? Am I going crazy? I took Tongue 2nd. Yeah, I took Tongue 2nd. So I'm just going... Maybe it was the Oral Alien. There's no way that was the 2nd encounter, right? Anywho. We just do a Zantetsuken to Takashi-san here. Do I even get to say that, Flood? Well, hey. So as the... Yeah, so that big, fuzzy, buzz graphic, what do you want to call it? I'm losing the term for that graphic effect. We got caught by the horror, but it was like way at the end of the run. This almost was a horrorless run, by the way, but... The important part is that we survive. So hey, I finally get my, I think, accuracy increase with the Timeless Katana. And yeah, not much else to say. If you have any ideas, questions, comments, concerns, criticism, so on and so forth, you know what to do. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!